And you will not believe what is through this door. Hello guys, and welcome to this Volkswizard video with a difference. I'm actually stood in Wolfsburg, the home of Volkswagen and one of the biggest car factories in the world, which you'd never know. Standing here on the balcony of the Marriott Courtyard Hotel, just a short walk away, you can actually see the cooling towers from the factory just between the trees over there. Now the reason for the trip is at least twofold. One, to get a good road trip in during 2020. You can still drive to Germany and not have to quarantine as long as you don't stop between the Channel Tunnel and the border, which is pretty easy. We did that in an RSQ3 last night. We still had 135 miles range left. I'll show you that car in detail in a bit. The other reason is I want to go and see the new models like the Golf 8 GTI. They're going to be around here. Hopefully maybe get to sit in a Golf 8 GTI, maybe even something we don't even know is going to be in production yet. So yeah, we are in the heart of Volkswagen and you never know what we're going to see today. The other reason is to show you around the Autostadt. I came here briefly in 2018, I did it in 2003 as well, so I've got a lot to see, and I think there is a hell of a lot to see if you're a Volkswagen fan, so stay tuned. I want you to think you can come, you can still do this road trip this year. Stay in a good hotel like this for not an awful lot of money because there aren't many people travelling. So without any further ado, let's get this Autostadt trip on the road and go and try and find Golf 8 GTI. Okay guys, well welcome to the Autostadt. So it took about 15 minutes to walk here from our hotel. It's about a mile, and I thought we'd start off with the ID cars. You know the ID3, but this is a new ID4 SUV that was revealed I think this week. So being an SUV, undoubtedly it's going to sell in big numbers. So this is the ID3, the equivalent of the Tiguan to the Golf. Okay, I'm here with my friend Stephen. You might recognise Stephen from the Frankfurt video.
Good morning.
We drove to the Frankfurt Motor Show in the Audi RSQ3 a year ago. We're just admiring this electric bike on the back of an ID3, which has got a Volkswagen logo on it. And apparently that's ABS, isn't it, Stephen?
You can get ABS now on bikes, yeah.
Yeah. Okay guys, next up we have the Zeithaus, the Time House. This is the museum part of Autostadt, and it houses all the older vehicles. Not all of them are Volkswagen, believe it or not. There's a few over there, the Ford Model T, the very first car ever by Carl Benz. But of course we have some amazing classic Volkswagens here. Now I won't walk you around them all. I'll just put some photos up to music so you can see some of the amazing stuff here very quickly. I had to get the camera out again because this is the car that I came here to see in 2018. I was standing out there looking through the windows wishing I was in here, and here I am today. It's a Golf W12 650, so a 12-cylinder 650 horsepower concept car based on the Golf 5, Golf 6, but it was a complete one-off. It was famously broken by Jeremy Clarkson on Top Gear when he was trying to do donuts in it, and it actually came to the UK for GTI International back in the glory days of around 2006, 2007. I say that because it previews Golf 6 styling at the front, but it's sort of Golf 5 at the back. Let's have a closer look at it. So yeah, it came out in 2007, and in the back there, where the rear seats are, is a 650 horsepower W12, so it's basically two VR6s. Look at that amazing carbon roof. And you can see it's concept car, there's some really dodgy bits on it, but that is absolutely incredible. It's even got the little handbrake caliper that just does the handbrake on there, and some Brembos on the back. This is totally one-off and the kind of stuff we suddenly won't see from Volkswagen ever again, I imagine. But look at that, isn't it beautiful? It's like a pearlescent white as well. Absolutely stunning. I'll have a look at the seats. Wow. Wow. He's amazing. Right, we're now in the Volkswagen Pavilion. So each brand has its own little building with their latest cars in it. And there's some really good stuff in here that I've not seen before. So first up we have Golf 8 variant, or estate as we call it. And it's in this is the ETSI hybrid, mild hybrid version. It doesn't really look too different to Mark 7 apart from the fronts. But yeah, it's a good looking estate car in the great scheme of things, but not when you compare it to this. Here we have the Arteon shooting brake. So this was spotted at the test mule a long time ago, and I never really thought they'd make it, but I'm so glad they have. This is a beautiful estate car. I like the hatchback version of the Arteon anyway. And then over here, it doesn't look particularly exciting, but this is a hybrid version, a proper hybrid plug-in version of the Tiguan. And then over here, which is a bit more exciting for me, we have the new Golf GTI. Okay, so I've finally tracked down the Golf 8 GTI here at Autostadt. I've never been close to one before, so let's just have a closer look at it. So this car's in King's Red, which is a very dark version of the Tornado Red. It's a metallic, and it does suit the car rather well. It probably wasn't a very fashionable colour until quite recently, but it does work on this car. And there we have the interior with these sporty seats that come, I believe, as standard. A big, thick GTI steering wheel there, maybe a bit too thick. The very small gear selector, and obviously the buttonless screen, but I think you'll forgive that if you don't like it when you get to drive this amazing car, which I hope I'll be able to do very soon. Okay guys, this is the kind of thing I've dreamt about stumbling across at Autostadt. It's basically all the worst to say project GTIs that were presented by the employees of Volkswagen at the show every year from 2015 to 2019, all 5 of them. But let's go backwards then. 2019, we have this Mark 7.5 with a big sort of TCR inspired spoiler on it. That looks pretty cool. It's some sort of a Nardo grey colour. It's called the Aurora. So yeah, 2019. Then we have this really pretty one. It's a 7.5 again. Lovely wheels, very Audi style. And that's got buckets, but this one hasn't. That's really, really nice. And then this is a very dark one. Those wheels remind me of TSW Stealth, I think. And this is called the GTI First Decade. This one is the GTI Heartbeat, very Club Sport SE, that sort of era. It's 2016. And here we have the 2015 car, the GTI Dark Shines. It looks like carbon steel grey, which is a great colour. It's even got wheel arch. It's like a Mark II. If you're a German or Austrian buyer of a new Volkswagen, you can choose to collect your car from Autostadt rather than from your local dealer, which I would do at the drop of a hat because you can make a weekend of it. And by the time you get home, it's probably mainly run in. Now this is the handover bay here, so we've got quite a lot of electric stuff going out today. We have e-Golf there, just being handed over. We have another e-Golf on charge. We have a very lucky person collecting the ID3 over there. And down here, if I can pan down, we have a new Golf 8, I think in a metallic blue with a pan roof, just about to go to its new home. Okay, we're in the Porsche Pavilion now. It's not the biggest one, but it's got 3 cars in it that represent all of Porsche and all the models at the back that take you back in time quite a long way.
Entscheidungen. Wir glauben, sie machen uns frei.
But let's bang up to date
In
here
Wahrheit schränken sie uns ein.
with the Taycan. Right, next is the Audi Pavilion, and the first thing I want to point out is this aluminium space frame. So Audi pioneered this technology in the 90s, and this is from the current A8. It's just an incredible piece of work. All the different types of aluminium welded together, castings and all sorts. It's just beautiful. And then here we have the finished product, and I don't think A6 is aluminium. This is the new RS6, which is a very nice dark blue, and then sort of Nardo grey RS7, which looks pretty damn good to me. And then R8 V10 Spider. We even have an Audi Sportback. It's a bit like a cyclocross bike. Yeah, it's really rather nice actually. Okay, back to the cars. Here we have the SQ8. And then some swingy things that people are messing around on. Like fun. And then we have a collection of all their concept cars, well, from Frankfurt last year, I think, in model form. That is a great looking car. There actually aren't many places to sit at Autostadt because of social distancing, so I thought I'd take the opportunity to try this Audi swing seat out, and it's a damn sight more fun than a bench. Although actually in that one you can hit the wall of the big dent sort of turns. This is cool. We don't do enough with Skoda on this channel, so I'm going to put that right here at Autostadt. But this is the Skoda Pavilion. It's probably the one that most resembles a dealership, and it's nice and light and isn't sort of pretentious and arty. So then we have an electric Citigo, we have a Skoda Superb, we have the new Octavia, which looks rather lovely, and some classic Skoda here called the Popular. But the one that has really got my imagination is this. This is the concept car, but it's actually going to go into production, called the Skoda Eniac. 500 kilometre range, that's about 310 miles, 35,000 euros, and it's on sale in Norway right now. Now take a good look at this car, because for me it completely transforms my perception of Skoda. It's got the digital sort of camera mirrors of the e-tron, but apparently they won't make it into production. But it looks very Model X to me. Elon Musk must be worried about this car. At 35,000 euros they start, and it looks sensational. And finally we have Fiat. Now there's not an awful lot of interest on display here. I was hoping to see the Elborn concept car, which is the sporty, racy version of the ID3, but instead we've got a Tarraco, we've got an Ibiza running on gas, and an Ateca Cupra. Quite a nice display of all the colours, and there is some colour which is unusual, because most cars in Germany are black or grey. They do make some very good looking racing cars. This is like the TCR Cupra. And then here is some sort of design sketches from, I think this looks like Leon, so I recognise that dashboard. Anyway, that's the pre-facelift Leon that's just been superseded. And then there's this really cool Leon that's just does cool things. A really famous landmark around here are the Autoturm, the car towers, and they might look like a block of flats, but inside are the cars awaiting collection by their new owners who collect them over here. So an automated process picks it up. You can see the lift in there. There's a car now, it's a Passat estate, and it gets shipped under this road into there ready for collection. Imagine coming here the day before you collect your car and seeing it in the tower and going, that's going to be my car, and the next day it's over here with the number plates on it ready for you to drive home. That would be so cool. Almost so cool I'd move to Germany just to be able to do that once in my life. Right, I've just left the Autostadt. It took me about 10 minutes to walk back here to the Allerpark where our hotel is. I haven't come to Wolfsburg much before because the hotel I really want to stay in is the Ritz-Carlton. It's like £400 a night, which is a ridiculous amount of money, and there didn't seem to be an awful lot a bit cheaper than that. They all seem to be sort of relatively basic business hotels, but I think Marriott worked out there was a gap in the market and they built this only about a year or so ago, and it's in an incredible position overlooking the Allersee, the Aller Lake, which is really in stark contrast to the factory just a few minutes walk away. So this is the back of the hotel. I think my room is up on there where I filmed the intro earlier. So yeah, it's cool. Lots of cycling and running and boating opportunities here. This is the Diesel Strasser Museum. It's tucked away on a back street near the Autostadt, and it's not actually part of the Autostadt, but this probably was the original museum before Autostadt took over. And you will not believe what is through this door. I just can't get over this place. And we nearly forgot about this. I read somebody's post on Instagram. Whoever you are, thank you very much. You reminded me about this place. We were just blown away by everything we've seen so far. But this is a crazy finale. But just take a look at all this weird stuff. Okay, there's lots of air-cooled stuff up there, but we're going to concentrate on the water-cooled things. Wow. I'm speechless. Absolutely speechless. Are you impressed with this, Stephen?
There's certainly a lot more here.
It's just, this is the stuff you really want to see, isn't it? All the quirky stuff. Oh my god, that's the that's a Nardo. No, that's the XL1, the XL Sport. Wow. God, country again. Unbelievable. God, the Touareg with Caterpillar tracks. Unbelievable. I'm just dumbfounded by this. And we haven't even started. A Lamborghini Chiron, that's a bit unfortunate. Polo Harlequin. Oh, I can't even look down there. Oh, God, look at all this. Golf TG60 record wagon, so some sort of record breaking G60. And here is the Corrado. I think it was the penultimate Corrado or something like that was shipped back to this museum. It was on Top Gear. There's a whole episode about it, how it went back to Wolfsburg. And there it is, right-hand drive. That is just incredible. If they said, do you want to work in Autostadt or do you want to work here? It would have to be here. Oh man. This is just a dream come true. Look at that. Sea golf. So that's like a lake golf from Wolfsburg. God, they must have been using that on the lake at Wolfsburg. That's just incredible. This looks like the IROC concept car. Wow, this was the original Scirocco concept car. Incredible. This is apparently the real Herbie. Come and see Herbie in this museum is their advert at the moment. Incredible. This is the Herbie I want to drive, the Beetle RSI. That's 3.2 litre, 4-wheel drive. Came out, 2001. So basically a Golf R32. It was about a year or so before the R32. Very limited production. One of these sold recently at auction. Quite a lot of money, and understandably. That's a really cool car. I'd have one of those in my collection. Well guys, I'd love to spend a lot more time here and go through everything, but if you're coming to Wolfsburg, you're coming to Autostadt, come here. This will make it even more worthwhile, all that journey, all that 620 miles in the rain. It's just an incredible, incredible place. Well, this is the outside of that museum on Diesel Strasser, and it does look a bit run down. There's litter on the floor in the car park, and when you drive past it on the main road, we were pretty sure it was shut, but it's not, and it really has made this trip worthwhile. Now, before we set off back, we're actually going to the Nürburgring for some biking. Before we go, I just want to give you a quick tour of this car. So this is the brand new Audi RSQ3 Sportback. So the RSQ3 came out about, I think, earlier this year or late last year, and this is a Sportback version, so it's just a bit sleeker at the back. It's in Kyalami green, which I think is not an Audi exclusive colour. It's there for 500 and something quid if you want it. Obviously, it's a bit Marmite, but yeah, I think Nardo Grey, which is another one of the press cars within, is probably my kind of colour. But this has been fun for this trip, and it is a very safe colour. Lots of people do see you coming, so you do make good progress. On the Autobahn, where this car was amazing, we really hit some serious rain yesterday, and we weren't going very fast, but we had to get to our hotel at a decent time, and we kept really good pace up in this car without any risks, no safety issues at all, and it was incredible. Having Quattro there to keep everything in shape was fantastic, and it's just so comfortable as well. RS models for me are not track day cars, not racing cars. They're there to get you from A to B, whatever the weather, in comfort, and they've also got loads of character. So we banged it into comfort mode and just wafted from the German border to Wolfsburg, quite a long way, about 300 miles. But then when we get on some country roads, when we go to Nürburgring, we're going to put this in dynamic and have a lot of fun. It does sound really good. Even with the OPS, this car is loud. Just to give you a quick look inside. It's got a pan roof, which is option. The wheels are a bit too big, really. They're okay in Germany, but these are 21s. Maybe 20s would be the sweet spot, but they do look good. You've got some lovely Alcantara on here. Really comfy seats. They're not overly sporty, are they? They've got integrated headrests, but they're not exactly bucket, but they are the best seats I've ever sat in, I think, and they're multi-adjustable with all these buttons. Space in the back is quite limited, to be perfectly honest. Under this duvet is Stephen's electric bike, and it's right against the back of the boot, and we've had to put the seat forward, which means passenger comfort actually isn't that good, so it's a bit short in its sort of boot space with the seats folded down, surprisingly. Although my bike is folded up in this bike bag with both wheels off, and it's a lot more easier to pack it. But yeah, we probably could do with a bit more room, but I think it's just about manageable. Anyway guys, thank you for watching this Volkswizard video. If you've enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up, please comment, please share, please subscribe, and I'll see you for the next one very soon.